Well, we're going to hit on a touchy one today. How do I talk to my spouse about money without fighting? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm going to tackle this one. Hey, it's Scott Beebe with Business on Purpose. Make sure, by the way, since we're speaking about relational health, we also need to check into business health. Go to mybusinessonpurpose.com/healthy to take the 7-minute business health assessment for all business owners. So I was thinking back, near the end of each calendar year, we walk our heroic business owners through a powerful 3-day experience we call the Business on Purpose Prep Week. And for those of you who were high school football players, or maybe you played something else in high school, I want you to think back to the dedicated week known as summer camp. Cue the music, right? Dun, dun, dun. Or 2-a-days. It was intense, grueling, and wildly necessary all at the same time. Those are times that teams grow in their camaraderie, intuition, trust of each other, and anticipation of how to handle a variety of situations. So it prepared you for a long, exciting season where you would experience ups, downs, and really everything in between. An upcoming calendar year, as you begin to think, for your business is filled with the same twists and turns and blindside hits and touchdowns as a regular sports season. And amidst the business preparation that you must pay attention to, vision, culture, systems, processes, there's another as important conversation that must be had headed into a new business season. And it's a conversation rooted at home. Anytime we bring up the idea of home or family with a business conversation, we can hear the subconscious of those around us beginning to ask, but wait, I thought we were just keeping this to business. Well, indeed, a conversation about home is very much a conversation about business, due to the reality that business and life necessarily intersect. Rarely does a woman or a man have the capability to keep work at work and home at home. Hands down, the most common reason for breakups of relationships is conflict in arguing. And the number one topic of conflict in arguing? Money. A key feature of Prep Week each year is that on the third day, we have each of our heroic business owners make time to spend with their spouse or their partner, if they share the home, and walk them through a simple and thoughtful framework around their personal finances. We do not lead the discussion and we do not make the decisions. We merely invite two people to have a thoughtful, facilitated, guided, human discussion about money together. So how can you talk to your spouse or your partner about money and not get into a fight? Well, here's 4 elements that I think can help you get started. Number 1, we need to commit to have a thoughtful conversation instead of a heated argument. Your goal is not to win. Your goal is to get on the same page, unified, and to create clarity around the idea of money. Money's out there. It's a neutral thing. You're not holding it. That person's not holding it. It's out there. So we need to come together as a team and go after that thing. Imagine that you had a miniature jail cell sitting on a table in front of you, just a tiny little box. And that jail cell exists only for your thoughts. And imagine that every thought that popped into your head as you were in conversation with the other person gets locked into that cell so it can be analyzed and thought through before it ever comes out of your mouth. Some of us would do much better in life if we had a little jail cell for our thoughts. Incarcerating every thought into a holding cell before it comes out and becomes official takes great emotional strength, but will lead to a more human conversation. The second thing we can do is acknowledge openly our own biases and predispositions to money. Yep, we all bring baggage into our relationship. There's a wisdom saying that says where your money is, that's where your heart is also. You may have grown up where the responsible idea was to put your money in a savings account. Because your money is in a savings account means that your heart is with the idea of saving and potentially storing up. For others of you, you may have grown up with a reasonable idea to spend what you had. Therefore, your money is with things or experiences, which means that's where your heart is also. So how did you grow up? What biases have you brought into the relationship regarding money? The third tool that we can use, set a goal of what you want to discuss and communicate that goal. Do you want to discuss saving more, spending more, traveling more, moving somewhere else, how to spend what you currently have? Why do you want to have this conversation in the first place? Set a goal and communicate it. For me, I want to have a conversation with my wife because I want to have a meaningful mix of spending for the things that we wish to experience. That's important to us. Great generosity for the things that we can get to contribute to. That's really important to us as well. and thought for saving and investing so that we can build appropriate wealth and also be prepared so that our kids don't really have to take care of us financially down the road. And so I want to have those conversations so that we can check all those boxes. So with that goal, it allows my wife and I to set a number that meets all of those criteria and then try to create a plan, retro engineer it to shoot for that number. Where things get dangerous is when the conversation is left open-ended and the goal is either endless savings or endless spending or no floor, no ceiling, or no clarity at all. One final element that will help when having the tough conversation around money: schedule the conversation. In fact, schedule the location and grab a pen and a piece of paper. We like to go to a hotel room overnight. That's something that Ashley and I like to do, and go sit out in the lobby and just walk through it. So we're in a public place and we can begin to have this conversation. And sometimes we go to the local restaurant, sit at the bar, take out a sheet of paper and that pen, and we stick figure a barn. And in that barn are multiple rooms. We literally just draw a barn. We have the living expense room. We have the 401k room, the hobby room, the generosity room, the college savings room, and so on. All those rooms that you feel like money is needed for, we create those rooms within our barn. So within each one of these rooms, we place a number. And that values the value that we believe that we want to shoot for this year to fully fund that room. Once complete with all the rooms, we simply add up the numbers. And that gives us the primary number that we want to shoot for this year. Anything over that number, we go ahead and agree upon what we'll do with the excess. Anything, if that number's too low for what we make, then we look and go, hey, do we really need those things, or do we need to try to make more in other ways? So from there on, we set time throughout the year to follow back up on the stick figure financial bond and then that we've written out, and do our best to hit the dates of saving and giving that we've pre-planned. Part of the reason that money can cause so much tension between couples is this true statement: the love of money is the root of all evil. But we do need to be careful. Money's not the problem. Loving the money more than other things, well, that's where things begin to break down. So let's commit to these thoughtful elements, and instead of fighting with our spouse about money, let's unite with our spouse and with our partner, get on the same page, and leverage money as the neutral tool it was intended to be for the good things you want to see.